Hi students, this is a video on the review of syllabus for BA 131 Business Interpretation. You can find the syllabus here in the navigation panel under syllabus. You can download it in Word or in a PDF. And the most important thing is for you to review it right at the beginning of the course so that you know what the expectations are and want to make sure that you're in the right class more than anything. Also, the dates for deadlines is very important. I'm going to start here by reviewing from the top. I'm going to try to make this a very quick video, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time in describing or going over assignments because that I will do module by module. But I do want to emphasize that this class was changed to upper division about a year ago when we started our degree and our associate degree program. Before it was just offer us a certificate, and now we're really, really excited to be expanding the program. We're one of very few colleges in California to offer this at a very low cost for students. So the interpreting and translation business is varies from industry to industry, but there are many opportunities. There's many of our students that are interested in the medical interpreting field or in the legal interpreting field. So our program is growing. We now have the Vietnamese interpreting program, so we're excited about that. So that's why this is now in upper division, and I mention it because I know some of you reached out and said that in your educational plan, this class used to be BA 56, but now it changed because some of you took some time off and now returning, and we're wondering what happened to the class. So this is BA 131. The name also changed. So this is the exact same class. This is the requirement. You will have a video in the coming weeks explaining what are some of the classes that are required for the certificate of the degree program. So to start with the syllabus, my preference for communication is via email. But through inbox, not through the regular email where you would send me an email to my Santa Ana College. So here you can send me a message or an email in inbox here in the Canvas, and that's my first preference because I have access to that communication via my phone or my iPad instead of having to log into the email to read your message. So I usually respond within 24 hours. Business Spanish and English bilingual skills are required for interpreters and translators to provide professional interpreting and translating services to business, government, and education. The topics that we're reviewing in this class include proper translation of communication, industry terminology forms, individualized educational plan, IEP. I'm spending 3 weeks just on those the different types of forms that are available and the terminology on IEPs. That is an area that is of tremendous growth here in the state of California with the public education schools. There is a shortage of interpreters, so we'll talk more about that. But we are going to spend 3 weeks going very deeply into the requirements for educational translations and interpreting. We're going to talk about social media, marketing, advertising, presentations, government documents, professional roles, standards, and code of ethics. This part is very, very important. Fluency in English and Spanish is strongly recommended because if you're not fluent, you are going to struggle with the written and interpreting. I briefly go over grammar rules and accent rules just in passing because there is a lot to cover in this class, and this class is not a Spanish or an English class. I tell my students that have consulted with me that yes, if they're fluent in English and not in Spanish, to take a concurrent class maybe in a foreign language to reinforce their language skills and vice versa. So for those of you that contacted me that were a little worried about your fluency, you do need to be fluent because you need, especially in this class, there's a lot of written assignments. I share with you, like I mentioned in the welcome video, I have over 20 years of experience in interpreting and translation, also a former journalist. So I wrote and I did a lot of translations from English to Spanish. So I use a lot of the work that has been commissioned to me over the years as some of the assignments so that you could have real um, assignments instead of makeup assignments, right? So I do that. You're going to see some of those, and I will share in the video lectures. This came from this client, or this came from this client, and how I tackle it. The student learning outcomes is very important that you all go over them. You don't need to take notes on the syllabus, but you do need to. This is going to be one of the questions in the syllabus quiz where you need to type some of those, and you can either copy paste them or you can type them in the essay. Most of the quiz. The syllabus quiz, most of the questions are true and false and multiple choice, but there are some one that are going to have to write in the answers. So this is called an OER class. Our classes are growing not only in popularity, but also because we made them zero text cost. So at the beginning of our program, we used to require textbooks, but there's a very limited amount of textbooks for interpreting and translation. So we decided to have our class zero text cost to convert it. So we provide everything to you. We provide you with materials, online, everything that's public domain, videos, video lectures, so that way you don't have to make it more accessible. You don't have to spend that money. And here's the list of the additional materials. So in order for our class to be deemed online, we have to meet certain requirements at Santa Ana College. We were one of the pilot colleges by the California Community Colleges that started a few years ago to train teachers on online teaching, and we wanted to meet all the standards so that our class can be part of the online college in California. So very, very excited that just last year this class was picked up. So now any student in California can enroll in the class. But we need to, in order for our class to continue having high standards to meet this online requirements, we have weekly student-to-student interaction and student-to-instructor interaction. By that, I mean the comments and the feedback that I give you. So please read your assignments, because I correct everything with the iPad pencil for a reason. I want to give you feedback, and that's how you grow, and that's how you make the corrections. And also the student-to-student interaction is what you're going to be communicating with your classmates in the discussion, and also in some group projects. We are going to do group projects. We're going to try to do this interactive as much as possible. There's going to be some documents that we're going to use in Google for that. So more on that in each module. The grading scale, your final is 30%. I have a whole video just explaining to you your final. So that's 30%, and it's a multiple choice, true and false, and very, very limited writing. Late work policy, make sure you read that. The important things to remember, those are very different depending on when you start your course, because I know some of you are enrolling 8-week classes, so make sure that you review those. I do have to drop by business division policy in Santa Ana College. The students that do not participate the first week of classes will be dropped, so that's how I take attendance, by you participating in your discussion number 1. So once again, students that do not participate in that whole week, the discussion 1, they will be dropped during the second week. Your time commitment is very important, the time that you're going to devote doing the translations and reviewing material, especially for those of you that are taking this concurrently with the intro class that I teach. There's, like I mentioned in another video, there's some overlapping material. In my intro class, I give you material to review. You don't have to have submissions for some, but in this class you do. So there's the whole purpose for me wanting you to review it in the intro class, and then in this class you do have to do either an audio or a written translation, in interpreting or translation. Communication is very important, that we keep the line of communication open. I am available to meet with you during office hours. For my class, I don't hold office hours. I don't have a set date, but if something comes up, by all means, reach out to me. And we can arrange something. I know that most of you are working adults, so we can arrange something. The most important thing is for you to stay in the class and know that we can develop an action plan if something comes up. I know with the onset of COVID, some students had to drop, and we're still affected. I mean, you get the emails from the college, right, about the still the big incidence of cases, but whatever, for whatever reason, just reach out. The academic honesty policy, it's very important that you review it because in the past I've had students that I have given an F because they just copy pasted a Google Translate without even reviewing the grammar and the syntax. And there are many errors if you just rely on tools and machine tools to do that you're interpreting, including the word feature for to interpret text. Very important for the students with disabilities to contact DSPS because with them and through them, you're going to take care of all the paperwork and then they will email it to me. So do that as soon as possible the first week because I do want to make those accommodations for you, but I do need to have an email, an official email coming from DSPS. Um, this list of the schedule of assignments is posted here. Again, that's why it's so important for you to download and have your own copy either in Word or PDF for easy reference. But here you're going to be able to see the topics right from the beginning in Module 1 because this class I expect you to do more writing. You're going to have two written assignments which and then it gives you there more information. Both the first one is actually one of my clients gave me that assignment a few years back, so now I want to share that and I want to be able for you to experience doing the subtitles for the census video. And you can review in video lecture for module 1 the instructions for that. But in every module, you're going to have a homework, a class exercise, and a discussion. So like I said, this time around, I'm spending 3 weeks all about reviewing everything there is to review in such a short time, a period of time about the individualized educational plan for special education. And the reason being is that there's a shortage of interpreters in that area, and there's many, many jobs available across all public education systems, K through 12, for interpreters in special education. So we're going to dedicate a lot of time in that area. So on your own, just review the topics. We're going to cover, like I said, special education, 3 weeks of legal terminology. How do you prepare for the California judicial exams to be certified as the court interpreter, if that's the way that you would do. But even if it's not something that you want to do, learning all the techniques for note taking, interpreting, and shadowing, it's going to help you. It's transferable to other interpreting fields and industries. So again, we're going to spend a good time talking about government, the opportunities there are, and media, advertising, business, health, having some clients. How do you charge clients if you want to be a freelancer or if you are perhaps interested in a specific industry, like what are the do's and don'ts. So just review this syllabus. And again, the syllabus quiz is not going to be posted till February 9th, and your quiz is due at the end of Module 2. I'm very, very excited and thank you for taking this class. And I'm very excited about learning about each and every one of you. Thank you.